Long form makeup tutorials are always going to eat down. The short form videos are definitely fun to watch, but how you learn how to do makeup is from a long form makeup tutorial. The girlies are not posting long form makeup videos because y'all aren't really watching them. That's the real tea, okay? But let's bring it back for 2026. So y'all start interacting with more long form makeup tutorials, and I promise you, the girlies are going to bring them back.
This is my remedy, let the seas sway with me. Regaining my energy, let the seas sway with me. My remedy, let the seas sway with me. Regaining my energy.
I cannot believe it is 2026. Where is the time going, y'all? I definitely wanted to sit down and do a talk through makeup tutorial for you guys. It's been a minute since I've done a long form makeup tutorial. It's been months, babe, okay? It's long overdue. So this is gonna be a longer video. Grab a snack, get your makeup, grab something to drink, and let's do this makeup look together. This is my signature go-to glam for 2026. Let's get into it. I feel like I haven't sat down and done a long form get ready with me video in so long. So I'm super excited to do that with y'all today. I want to say happy 2026 to each of you. Let me know how your year has been going so far. So we're going to start with primer per usual. I'm going in with my Smashbox primer water. I know this is discontinued. You cannot get it anymore, but I love this stuff and I have been back using it, and this is my final bottle. So I'm just like, freak it. Let's just finish her up. Next, we're going in with a more hydrating primer. This is the NYX Plump Right Back Primer, and I love using this all over the face. It is a gripping primer as well, so it's really going to help our foundation to stick to it. And then I'm going to use a blurring primer in the T-zone. If you have very oily skin, you can go ahead and use a mattifying primer here instead. But this just helps to blur out any pores and fine lines that we may have. Some people think I'm over priming by using 3 primers, but listen, my base looks good AF because I really prep the skin. We're using a new foundation today. This is the Dior Backstage Foundation in the shade 6.5W. I first purchased this foundation in the shade 7W, but I felt like it wasn't quite right. So we're going to try out this shade today and see if this is a better fit. I'm using this with a IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. I really wanted to get a neutral shade in this foundation, but 7 and 6 neutral just weren't quite right for my skin. I feel like this is the closest match, but it is a little more warm than I would personally like. But once you start blending it out, it looks really nice. I was really surprised by the coverage and the finish of this foundation, y'all. I wasn't expecting this foundation to have so much coverage. I thought it was more lightweight. Don't beat me up, but I am going to use several concealers. I'm first going to start off with the Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer in the shade 70 NY. This is a discontinued concealer. I know some of y'all get upset with me when I use a discontinued product, but honestly, I actually use all my makeup, okay? Like, I use my favorite products over and over and over again because I genuinely love them. You know what? I have been trying to do my concealer before my bronzer lately. I don't know why, because I usually don't do that. So let's go in with the bronzer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand in the shade Tan. And I'm going to put this on my forehead, on my cheekbone, and then underneath my jawline here. And I'm also going to take a little bit right here on the bridge of the nose, and then on the tip of the nose and on top, just like that. Let's blend out the nose first. This is the Morphe E22 brush. And then I'm going to blend out my forehead, cheekbone, and jawline area. And this is a BH Cosmetics number 4 brush. Really make sure you blend that bronzer up into your hairline. Somebody asked me on one of my short videos why I contour my forehead if it's small. First off, I feel like I got a forehead, okay? When I wear lace, of course my forehead is gonna look smaller, but I don't really contour my face. I bronze my face, so I'm doing this to add warmth all over the skin. Let's get back to the concealer. I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer in the shade Crumble. I think this is 7.1 N, and I'm gonna put this down the nose, on the forehead here, right here above the mouth, and then on the chin. And then I'm taking Shape Tape Concealer. This is the original. I think it's called the matte formula now. In the shade Tan Deep Honey, all underneath the front of the eye, just to further brighten this area. Next, I'm going to take a damp beauty blender, and we're going to start blending from the bottom of the face and work our way up. I do my under eye area last. I also like to take my foundation brush around the edges just to blend everything out flawlessly. I like to blend out my under eye one eye at a time. That way I can set it really nice before I go on to my next eye, because I don't want any creasing, okay? And yes, I do like to let my concealer sit for a little while. As you can see, if you're using a concealer that doesn't dry down quickly, this is gonna help give you really nice coverage, and the concealer is just gonna blend out so much easier. And then I'm gonna set my under eye concealer with the One Size setting powder in Sweet Honey. This is one of my faves. It instantly just blurs out that under eye area. Also, if you see the lighting go crazy or like in and out, sun keeps going up and down, and I do have my window open over here, so that's why. Next, I'm going to use the MAC Studio Fix Powder OG formula in NC44.5. We're doing this to all of the highlighted areas on the center of the face. And this is a Makeup Addiction Precision Highlighter brush. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face with the same MAC Studio Fix powder, but in the shade NC55. And I'm using this with a flat top powder brush from e.l.f. I'm going to do my brows off camera, y'all. I'm just taking a little bit of setting powder just to get any oil off of this area. I already have a brow tutorial, so I'll link it down below for any of you who need help with your brows. Next, I'm using the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC45 with an Ulta Precision Concealer brush. We're going to use this to carve out the brow area. So pull it down. And then I'm going to take this J.Cat Beauty blending brush to just diffuse out that concealer. And then I'm taking the shade NW43 in the same concealer and applying that all over the eyelid. If you don't have discoloration on your eyelids, you can skip this step, but I like using this to get my eyelids one uniform color, and then also it allows me to have a nice base for my eyeshadow. And then just use your blending brush again to blend that out. And then I'm going to take my One Size setting powder again and then just go over the lid to set that concealer in place so it doesn't start creasing. And this is how I prep my eyes for eyeshadow. For eyeshadow today, I'm going to use this Painted Basic Canvas palette. And I'm first going to go in with the shade Freckled. I'm going to apply this all in my crease area. And this is a Morphe E22 brush. Next, I'm going to take the shade Wimple, and I'm going to apply this in my crease as well, but slightly lower than the other shade. And you can keep building this color until you get the pigment that you want. Then I'm going to take these same two shades on my lower lash line. Next, I'm using Sugar, and I'm going to pack this all over my eyelid. Next, we're going to do a little wing liner. This is the NYX Epic Wear Liner. I usually purchase the felt tip one, so I have not used this one yet. I haven't done wing liner in a minute, so it went thicker than I wanted it to, but you know what? It's all good because I'm about to put on lashes anyways. This is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. I'm applying this all over my upper lashes. And I'm also going to put this on my lower lashes as well. I'm going to take my Studio Fix powder in NC44.5, and this time I'm going to use my puff to apply this underneath my eye. And this just adds more coverage there, so it looks super nice and airbrushed the way I like it. And then you can go around the edges with a brush just to clean it up. Next, we're going to bronze the face. This is the NARS Laguna 07 bronzing powder, and I'm going to apply this everywhere where we applied the liquid bronzer earlier. Do y'all see how this instantly just warms up the skin? I feel like I can never have too much bronzer on. I absolutely love bronzer, especially when it's winter and fall months when you don't get as much sunlight. I'm also going to use this on the sides of my nose as well, and right here on the button of my nose. I'm going to take off my chapstick so we can do lip product. I'm going to use MAC Costa Riche Eye Kohl Pencil as a lip liner today. This currently has me in a chokehold. I have not been using any other lip liner in like the last month. I'm going to take the back of the pencil just to blend everything out. And then I'm going to tap pink peppermint lipstick on the lip. I don't want a lot of it, just a little bit. And then I'm going to use the Anastasia Cotton Candy lip gloss on top. I totally meant to do cream blush today. I just didn't. I'm going to use the Girly Pop pink shade in the middle here. I want a really nice bubblegum pink cheek. And this is still going to give me that vibe even with just powder product. So you don't always have to do a cream blush if you don't feel like it. I'm going to keep this really high on my cheeks. And then I'm going to use Health Lab's Dragon Fruit Days on top of it. This is such a pretty combo, y'all. I'm going to make a little mole right here. I'm going to take my finger and just press on it. For lashes today, I'm going to be using the IMV Mink Impact Lashes in the style number 8. And we are just going to pop these right in the middle. Okay, let that sit for a second. Pop these on in the middle. Then I'm going to go into the outer corner here and then the inner corner. As a finishing touch, I'm going to go in with the new Huda Beauty Easy Bake Press Powder in the shade Kanafa Blondie. And I'm going to pop this right in the front of the eye to really brighten up this area. This step is definitely optional, but it just gives that nice finishing touch if you love a bright under eye. And this is a Makeup Addiction large fluff brush, by the way. And the most important step is setting the makeup that we just did. I mean, we put in all that hard work, so of course you want to set it so that it lasts all day. This is the NYX The Face Glue. So here's the finished look. I absolutely love the way that this turned out. This is going to be my go-to glam for 2026, and I'm obsessed with it. If you want to create a signature glam for yourself, I have virtual makeup classes that I offer, and I also now offer makeup consultations if you need help picking out complexion products that match your skin and you don't want a full makeup class. I'm going to leave all the details to book in the description box down below for you guys. I want to say thank you so much for all of your continued love and support over the years. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you have any video requests for 2026, leave them in the comment section down below so I can make the video for you. And if you haven't already checked out my latest video, I'm going to leave the link right here for you, babe.